half guard. We're in the half guard here. If I can get the underhook and he's got a good base, it's gonna be a good plan for me to try to get out and get on his back. And so with the underhook, I'm reaching up, but once I decide I want to go to his back, I'll put my hand on his armpit here as I come out to my hand, and I want to push my head out. Then I'm going to grab around his waist. The way I like to do this is I'm going to drag his knee with my knee here. So I circle my knee out, and my calf is kind of hooking right above his knee to spread his legs apart and make him really weak here. I'm coming up so you can see when my chest would be down, and my hand that was around the waist, I'll block his other knee. So now I'm forcing his knees really wide in a kind of miserable stance for him. And then I can throw that hook, and since he's already wide, I can start ideally trying to force him down to his stomach on top of his hands, and then I have a clear path to try to choke him. But let's see that from another angle here. So we're in there, coming up. So I'm going to make my knee wide, and my foot is shallow. I'm not trying to wrap over his leg. A lot of people like to do that. Dealer's choice. But I just keep my ankle against kind of his calf, and then my knee is like eating his knee to make his. And I'll drag him here a little bit if he's struggling around. Like, I'll just drag that back and take my time here, pressing my hips into the back of his hips. And then I can come over and force him down onto his hand and start looking for a choke. To me, that's the ideal way to take the back. Alright, so we're in half guard, and he's got a pretty good position here. He's got a cross face and an underhook, and he's squishing me pretty good. So we rotate a tiny bit, please. So this will work if he's really got his butt down. This is gonna work good because his legs are kind of heavy. So I'm gonna take my feet as far as I can to the outside, and I can block his arm, and I'm just going to roll him over with a little bumperino. So right here, he's squishing me. So I got to take my legs as far, and see how the back of my knee is pushing on his hamstring? That's going to help me get that. I can't do this if I'm straight with him and my legs are shallow. He's got too much base. So I bring my feet as far as I can and then roll him over. But usually I won't be able to trap his arm really good, and he's going to post. I'm going to get the underhook. Right. Typically, we're just trying to make our position better and fighting for that underhook with our sweeps. Cut! So if he's trying to take my back here, the whizzer is when I wrap my arm around his arm and try to push him down here. So the whizzer is, I think, it's more for wrestling. It doesn't really make sense in jiu-jitsu, because I'll show you why. But if he wraps my arm up like this, I can just pinch it and roll him over the other way. So he's basically trapping his own arm when he does the whizzer. So we're in here, he has no post to his right. So I can reach through and grab his hand, or I can reach my other hand and hug it. And then I'm just gonna walk my hips into him and roll him over for the whizzer counter sweep. Alright, so again, he's got a really good crossface underhook, and he's got heavy chest this time. So I'm going to hip out as much as I can, and I might even take the top of my foot and wrap it under his leg if I can. I'm going to put in my butterfly hook here. And then I'm going to hip in, and I'm going to keep my right leg in the middle and lift him up into butterfly guard. And now his cross face has become my underhook. So let's see that at a little bit different angle here. So maybe we can see that. So I'm here, he's squishing me, his chest is really heavy. Maybe he's really trying to squish me, he's up on his toes a tiny bit. I hip out, get the leg, hit back in. And then I'm going to use my right knee to lift him up. Get my butterfly hook in, get my grip, and then sit him up. So a lot of times half guard, just trying to get to a better guard is your goal.